Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Lily Reads. Okay, so this is my first vlog for Black History Month, and I wanted to start it off with a bang. Okay, if you are an avid reader, if you are someone who reads a lot, I love it when I talk to other readers and they have like a genre, something that they are just an expert in. They know every book that is coming out in this genre. They know everything that's been good in this genre for the past few years. They just have that thing that's just like, that's where I like to read. I know everything about that genre. And I just feel like for me, over the past 3 years, that has been Black young adult. I have loved Black YA. It's so funny because one of the first videos I ever made for my As Told by Kenya channel, this was years and years and years ago. I said I did not like young adult books. I like, and that was really shocking back then because people loved young adult back then. But I said I don't like young adult books. I like reading adult and new adult books. And a lot of people were like, oh, but young adult is still good. Now these days, over the past like 2.5, 3 years, no one likes to read young adult. No one likes to read young adult. Everybody is adult girl especially when it comes to romance. And for some reason, when everybody go left, I gotta go right. And I have fallen in love with young adult again, but specifically young adult Black romance. And so, I have been aware, like I know every young adult Black book that has come out. I own a lot of them, and the ones I don't own is just because I'm not interested in, but I have read so much Black young adult, and you can see it in my wrap-ups. I just read a lot of Black young adult, and so it is 2023, and of course I have my eye on all the Black young adult. Why do I love Black young adult? Because I believe when it comes to young adult fiction, when young adult was having its like heyday back in the early 2010s, Black kids kind of missed out on that. I feel like Black kids were missing from that renaissance. Black kids were missing from that time. There just wasn't a lot of stories told that were traditionally published and that were really popular about Black children and what Black children go through and about Black relationships and putting Black kids in these certain situations. And I was a Black kid then, and so most of the books I read were about white people, and I just thought that was really unfortunate. And so, seeing now that there's so much Black YA that comes out, I feel like it's my responsibility to read it because I want there to be more of these books, and I just want to reward these authors who are willing to tell these stories, even though they're not going to be the most popular. People don't like reading books with Black people, and especially when all the characters are Black. I don't know if that's for like the books we're reading, but I just want to reward these authors for continuing to tell stories about Black kids. It matters. It matters to see people who look like you, people who act like you, people who talk like you in books. And so that's why I do it, and I absolutely love it. My favorite book last year was Charming as a Verb, and it is a Black YA book. And so I thought I would start off Black History Month by reading some YA by Black people. So I have 3 books that I am going to read. Let's go through them. The first thing we have is As You Walk On by Jillian Winters. I had no clue what this book is about. All of these were pre-orders. I was going through, seeing what was on the slate for the Black YA in 2023, and this was one of the books. I believe we are dealing with, let's see, LGBTQ. I believe this is LGBTQ plus representation. And yeah, it's about a 17-year-old boy named Theo and his crush and all of that stuff. So I am interested in this book. I have absolutely no clue what this book is going to be about, and I'm also not sure if it's about 2 Black people, but that doesn't matter. I usually like my books to be about 2 Black people, but it doesn't always have to be. So I'm interested to see what this book is going to be about. Let's see. The next thing we have is probably the book I'm most excited to read in this video, and it's The Wrong Kind of Weird. This is about a guy, he's dating someone, but this person kind of judges him, and then there's another person that he also kind of likes too, is kind of developing a relationship. It seems like a nice little love triangle, and the one thing about me, I low-key love love triangles. Like, I never was one of those people who like love triangles suck. Like, done correctly, I can love a love triangle, and I think that's what this book is about. It is by James Ramos. I'm excited to read it. And the last book is probably the most like, whoa, most camp book. It's called 16 and Pregnant by Layla Thomas. Okay, so gotta get like MTV Books. This is published by MTV Books. MTV Books was a book publishing house back in I have powder on my hand, back in the 90s. I think it started in the 90s and then it like went away, but Simon and Schuster have brought it back. It's an imprint at Simon and Schuster's MTV Entertainment, and basically they are releasing I think 5 books this year, and it's basically like books based off of like MTV shows or things about like, I don't know, if I went to go look at like the books they used to publish, and all of their stuff was like relating to MTV types of things. But I saw last year that 16 and Pregnant was a book that they were putting out, and it's about 2 black girls, and I just wanted to know what was going to happen in this book. I've already started reading it because I was so curious. This is the first book we're going to read for this, but yeah, 16 and Pregnant by Layla Thomas. I am so excited to read this book. So yeah, I'm really curious how this is going to go, but so far I'm actually enjoying the vibe. So those are the books that we are going to read in this. This is our first vlog for Black History Month, and hopefully when we go through this, I can convince you to like some YA. There are so many good Black young adult authors. You have Elizabeth Escovedo, you have Joya Goffney, you have obviously you have Tiffany D. Jackson, Talia Hibbert put out a Black YA book. You have Nikolai Yoon. She is a great YA author. You have Dina Ada. You have so many. I'm just looking at my bookshelf. You have so many people who are writing YA books. Christina Forrest. Christina Forrest is putting out an adult book this year, but Christina Forrest usually writes YA. There's so many people. Angie Thomas. I just want to get some names in really quickly so I don't miss anyone. Oh my gosh. Ellis Bryant is writing good YA. Oh, I don't want to miss anyone. I really don't want to miss anyone. Ashley Woodfolk. Yeah, so many people writing excellent YA books, and it's just so good, and I just feel like more people should be reading Black YA. I don't know what's going on in white YA. That ain't none of my business, but Black YA is really good right now. So anyways, I am going to start reading and give you guys some initial thoughts on 16 and Pregnant and what's going on in that. Okay? Peace. Hello, you guys. We are here for our first clip for 16 and Pregnant. You guys, I'm 50 pages into this book, maybe 60. About 55 pages into this book, and this book is stressing me the hell out. Okay, so let me tell you what this book is about. From what I know so far, we really haven't gotten into the plot. I am curious about why we're really here, like what this book is going to be about, but I can tell you what's going on in the first 50 pages. So you got a girl named Kelly and you got a girl named Erica. Where are they from? Why does my spirit want to say they're from Nevada? I was about to say they was from LA. They from Nevada. They are from Nevada, and we are following mostly so far this girl named Erica who has just found out that she is 16 and pregnant, and she is on her way to the abortion clinic to get an abortion, but she doesn't want to have an abortion, but her mother is telling her she should have an abortion because her mom doesn't want her to turn out the way she did. And then Erica has a boyfriend, his name is Miguel, and he sells drugs. He already got a baby, and so the mom is just like, this really ain't what you want. But she's like, I really want to have a child. Then you have Kelly. Kelly is Erica's friend, and so far she's not really up to much yet, but she really wants to be there for Erica. She wanted to be there for the abortion, but the school that they go to had a field trip to DC, and both of the girls want to go to Howard, so they had a field trip to DC, and Erica was like, no, I don't want you to miss the field trip. I know how excited you were, so go off to the field trip. But she's really worried because she's worried about her friends. Kelly kind of has her own stuff going on. she has a boyfriend who she kind of thinks likes another girl, and so there's drama with that too. It's really funny. Like, it's the way it's written, it's really funny. Anyways, and so like that's what's going on. Basically, Erica's pregnant. She doesn't want to have an abortion, but her mom is telling her to have an abortion, and then you have and her boyfriend, you know, up to no good. Then you got Kelly, who is in DC at this point. Her and her boyfriend, they going through issues because they're not even really dating. And they going through stuff, but she wants to be there for the abortion, and she wants to know what's going on with her friend. So while she's on this field trip, she's really worried about her friend. I'm assuming they're going to meet back up. Like, I don't think the whole book is going to take place with them apart from each other, but so far that's what's going on. I can only go with what's going on. This book is stressing me out because, like, I want her to have the abortion. You guys know I am always team abortion. I am team abortion, but do what you want to do, of course. But I'm always team abortion, and like, she wants to go off to Howard, and she has all these dreams for herself. And you know, maybe because I'm grown, you know all the reasons why her mom doesn't want her to have the child, because like, they don't got no money. And so, but she does, if she wants to have a baby at 16, she should be allowed to have a baby at 16. It's just, you know, the me and me wanting, you know, all black girls' dreams to come through. I'm like, you're still just a baby. So it's stressing me out because I believe this is going to be a story about how, like, you know, motherhood and anyone can be a good mother, and having a child young doesn't ruin your life. And I agree with all those things, but it's just like, it is going to make it harder though. It is going to make your life harder. But I'm always here for the message. I loved the dedication for this book. It's a simple one. It's to every black mama in America. You matter. Love the dedication. And like, that's what it's going to show. It's going to show, you know, being a black mother and putting your and what black mothers go through. So obviously I'm here for it. But yeah, that's pretty much going on. It's fun. It's a really fun book. The way that they talk is exactly how I believe kids their age probably talk. I'm not 16, ain't been 16 in a long ass time, but I believe that is how they talk. The two girls are really cute. Their dynamic is really cute. I'm interested. I'm in it. So that's the first book. We're having a good time. I don't know what made me pick up this book, but like, I'm here for it. I am here for it. I love a YA book. I love a YA book just about some kids, you know, living life. And we don't get really books about girls who are 16 and pregnant. So you know what? I'm excited. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to discuss in here. What are some things that I need to do this week for this vlog? I have a library book on hold that I could pick up. There are two books I want to get. I want to get my own copy of The Last to Vanish, and I want to get a copy of Night Crawling. So how do I want to go about that? I need to go do that. I need to go get those two things. I might do that tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. I won't go to the library tomorrow. I also need to go to my P.O. box. I have a lot of stuff to do, and I ain't doing much of any of it. I'm about to go sit on my couch and write for an hour, so that's what I'm about to do now. I probably won't pick up 16 and Pregnant again until the end of the day, probably at night. So yeah, that's pretty much, I wish I had some fun things to discuss with you guys, but I really don't. So we'll get the vlog going. I have a dentist appointment for my teeth tomorrow, so I'll probably talk to you guys in the car. That might be the next time you guys see me. Tomorrow morning, I might talk to you guys in the car on the way to my dentist appointment or something like that. I don't know. I'll see you guys later. Guys, I'm here to give you guys my final thoughts on 16 and Pregnant by Layla Thompson. Believe it or not, you guys, I am giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this book was really well done. How do I say this the way I want to say this? I believe there are some black readers who don't like to see certain black people get representations. Like, they don't like when, like, people in books are, like, ghetto and hood and baby mamas and stuff like that. And I find that to be so disheartening because there are a group of black people who get shoved out of the representation conversation because people believe like it's stereotypical blackness, but like some black people are those things, you know? Some black people don't come from good environments and they go through certain things, and those people are worthy of representation just like everyone else. And that's what I feel like this book did. I felt like the two girls in this story were real, and I felt like this book wasn't trying to appease whiteness or trying to appease anyone's respectabilities. And that's what I enjoyed about this book. This book wanted to tell a story about two girls that could exist, and I know two girls that do exist, and I thought it was brilliant. I thought the conversations about abortion, the conversation about being a mother, but what I loved the most about this book was the idea of community and like coming together to help black girls. That's what I loved about this book. When the things that happen to our two main characters happen to them, they never feel alone. Like they constantly are being reassured that they will have people by their side, and that's what the real like nucleus of this book is. It's this idea of coming together to help one another and being there for one another. So yes, we all find ourselves in circumstances that are not the most appealing. Maybe you don't want certain things or they're not the most ideal, but you can get through anything if you have a support system. You can get through anything if you have people who care about you. And that's what this book was trying to do. And I thought it was really good. And I thought this book was respectful. It was respectful to its subject matter. It was respectful to the people it was trying to reach and trying to, you know, put on the page. It was respectful to that. But I know there's going to be some people who are like, ooh, this is stereotypical. Ooh, they ghetto. Like, what is this? Is giving Tyler Perry. I know there's going to be people who are going to say that. And that really bothers me because I see so much more in this book. I genuinely see a story that really could resonate with a lot of people. So I enjoy this book. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. But anyways, we are going to move on to the next book. But yeah, this was a solid read. And I did not expect it to be. When I picked it out, I was like, oh, whatever. No, I really enjoyed this book. I really, really did. So yeah. Let's move on to the next book, okay? Hey you guys, we are here for our first check-in for the book The Wrong Kind of Weird by James Ramos. We're still back in our YA bag. I'm in my bathroom because I'm about to do my skincare, so we're reading this book. I'm about to sit it down, child. I'm about to sit it down. Okay, so this book is following a boy. Ask me what this boy name is. I couldn't tell you. Cameron. You got Cameron Carson. He goes to this high school. It's a nice little high school. Like, there's really no like racial issues but there is like a caste system, a caste hierarchy, if you will. And he is part of the nerds. He is a nerd at his school. He enjoys being a nerd at his school. He has his own club that he's a part of that's like they call themselves nerds. And so he likes being a nerd. It's fine being a nerd. But he has a secret. There is the most popular girl in school. So he's at the bottom because he's a nerd. And she's at the top. He has a little secret. He meets up with her and he like hooks up with her. They don't have sex because that's part of the story about them about to have sex. Like it's a whole plot. That's a whole plot line. But they like make out with each other. So they like hook up as far as like, you know, little kids standing. They like hook up. So he's hooking up with the most popular girl in school. But he doesn't tell anyone that he's doing that because she doesn't want him to tell anyone, because she doesn't want people to look at her like, ooh, you hooking up with a dweeb, you hooking up with a dweeb. So he has to keep that a secret, but he doesn't want to keep their relationship a secret anymore. So he is trying to hatch a plan. He's basically trying to hatch a plan to kind of become cooler. Like he's trying to like move up this caste system in hopes that if he becomes cool enough, maybe she will want to be seen with him in public because they work together. You get this, a part of the plot line is going back in time about how they met. You just see how they work. They work at a coffee shop together. You see how their relationship works. But there's also a weird thing going on in this book too. Her ex-boyfriend is trying to like hang out with him. The ex-boyfriend was our main character's biggest bully. And for some reason now he's like, I should hang out with you. So there's something weird going on there, but our main character hasn't caught on to what that is. We don't know it either. But yeah, that's pretty much what's happening with this book. You have this nerdy guy with this nerdy friend who is trying to, you know, climb the caste system and become popular so that the popular girl he's like seeing on the side, you know, his sneaky link, as the kids would say, they can, you know, no longer be sneaky. That's what it's given. I'm enjoying it. I'm about to do my skincare routine. I'll talk through my skincare routine with you guys, and we'll discuss the book as well. So the first thing I like to start off with, I'm going to go in with my medically prescribed tretinoin. That's what I'll go in with first. Is this new Survivor? This new Survivor. Sorry, I was talking about Survivor. Anyways, I'm gonna do this first. I just put this on my cheek first. A little goes a long way. This is like the gel one if you're a tretinoin girly. So I just take a little bit and I just rub it on my cheeks because that's pretty much where I need it. Tad bit more. A little on the forehead. So then I go on with that. But yeah, overall, I am very much so enjoying this book. It's just a good time. This is the YA that I enjoy. Number one, we're dealing with black and brown kids. You really don't know most people's race. Like the main girl, the popular girl, like her last name is Ortega, so it's giving possibly Hispanic. On the cover of the book, she's just a blonde chick, but who knows? Then we have a black, like you're dealing with brown kids. It's a whole lot of fucking fun, and it's just a really fun story. I actually like miss being in the world. Like I like going back to the book. It's just a really good book. It's really easy to read. So I'm really enjoying it. It's giving me charming as a verb vibes. The only thing that's kind of weird about this book is bizarrely like vulgar. There's like some F-word drops, I think. Like usually the YA that I read is not that vulgar, but like they be like cussing in this book like heavy, and I'm just like, I thought we was in a classy party. Anyway, the next thing I go in with is the La Mer treatment lotion. I just take it off, sprinkle a little sprinkle on the tips of my hand, and I just go in. When you're on tretinoin, the biggest thing is building back up moisture, because tretinoin like dries out your skin. Building back up that moisture, so I just go in with so many moisture products. I wash my face with the Tasha rice water. Then I go in with this, the La Mer, and I just put it all over my face, down my neck. Next, I go in with the Lancome. This child, I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm not in the mood to butcher nothing. I get it like literally a dot of this, like not a lot. When I just go over that, I don't like the smell of this stuff, but I do like the finish of this stuff. That's good. Then I go in with the La Mer, the Hydrating Infused Emulsion. One drop of that, like one drop, just one pump. One pump. You can tell my cheeks are my problem area. That's where I focus everything. Everything on the cheeks. Everything on the cheeks. What's next? So then I like to go in with my Fenty Skin Eye Gel. I don't know what the hell this do. They say it makes you look like awake when you wake up in the morning if you put it on like before when you go to bed. But then they tell you to put it on in the morning too, so it's just like, why wouldn't I just put it on in the morning? But you know what? Whatever, it ain't hurt nobody to put it on unless it is hurting me to put it on. I don't know about that. Anyways, then I go in with the Tasha Indigo Overnight Repair Cream. I just put it on the back of my nail, like so. Not a lot. Focusing it on the cheeks. Then I might hit the nose a little, on the eye. Boom. Boom. Then, lastly, I go in with the Biosense vitamin C rose oil. And I call it, I go to bed looking like a glazed donut. And that is so we're basically trying to get rid of these dark marks, We don't really have very many breakouts. Breakouts are not something I really struggle with more, but we're trying to get rid of some mild discoloration. Anyways, that is that. And then I go in with the Laneige lip sleeping mask, but I gotta brush my teeth before I do that. That's that. I'm really enjoying this book. I will see you guys probably when I finish it, or maybe I might want to do like a better, you know, final, like some thoughts. If I got some thoughts, I'll come back with some thoughts, but so far I don't think I got no thoughts. Anyways, I will see you guys later. Hello you guys, so I am on page 150 of this book, and I have like two more thoughts before I give you like my final thoughts when I finish it. Number one, remember how last night I told you guys this book is like so bizarrely vulgar? I stand on that. There's certain, like, they say things like fucking, dick, and balls, and it's just like, I don't know if I'm just not used to reading YA that's just like vulgar, but like it is a little jarring because you are reading a lot. Look at me becoming a prude. Like, whoa, like I usually, it's not like I'm minding it. It doesn't take me out of the story. It's just like I get a little mild discomfort, like whenever the main character is just really vulgar in a way. Like, not like, it's not weird vulgar, like it all makes sense. It's just like, did we have to do that? I don't know. And then secondly, I'm really enjoying that this book is like a love triangle. So both of these girls, like, seems like they like him. So it is giving love triangle, but it feels like it's a good love triangle. You see the reason, I know who he's gonna end up with, but I see reasons why he should be with like both of them. Like, neither character is kind of being like dumbed down or belittled in order to make them the perfect partner from him. It just all feels realistic. I love the conversations that are happening, and yeah, I'm enjoying the book. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing that's like really weird about it is like the random like insert of like vulgarity, but other than that, like, I do not enjoy any scenes where they're talking about sex at all. I don't enjoy any scene where they're talking about sex, but outside of that, the cutesy stuff is cute. It's all working for me in that way. So those are like my thoughts like thus far. But yeah, I'm just out and about running some errands, not doing much of anything. Yes, I kept my headscarf on because I ain't trying to impress nobody. Yeah, you guys, let me show you guys something. By the way, I still have the rental car. I'm still not back in my Jeep. This Fenty plush pudding by Fenty Skin, so good. Like, so good. Like, all you need is a little bit on that your lip at the beginning of the day, and you are good for the entire day. It makes your lips feel so fucking moist. But anyways, I'm gonna go, and I will talk to you guys about my final thoughts on The Wrong Kind of Weird when I finish it sometime later today, tomorrow, early tomorrow. I don't know, but yeah, I will see you guys later. You guys, I want to come and give you guys my final thoughts on The Wrong Kind of Weird by James Ramos. I want to give this book like a diet 4, a light 4, you know, like a little 4, not a strong 4, a light 4, but I think honestly it's like a 3.5 for me. Like, I enjoyed my time reading this, but it's not anything that I'm enthusiastic about. It's not something that I'm running to recommend. I am looking for that same joy I got when reading Charming as a Verb, Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl. I am looking for What Happened, what's it called? Girl, I Want to Be Where You Are. I'm looking for that same joy I got reading those young adult books, and this book just didn't strike that same joy. This book, what like I think bothered me the most about this book starts spinning its wheels. Like, you already know what the concept of this book is. This guy is going to try to impress his sneaky links friends, but then the book reintroduces that topic once again, but you're like, I thought we already established that's the topic of the book, but it reintroduces that. And it's like, okay, that's the rest of the book. But it's like, he was already trying to do that. And we know that's what he was trying to do. So why would you throw in this plot where he's working on the play and he slowly but surely tries to get everyone on this play to like him? He'd been already trying to do that. So it like starts spinning its wheels and starts doing the exact same thing like over and over and over and over again. And you don't really develop anything. The plot doesn't develop in any interesting way. And so these characters that I think are really good, I think both of the two girls in the story, the two love interests, are really, really interesting. I think the guy is interesting. And what I love the most about this book is the guy's friends, his little nerdy friends. I really, really liked it, but we don't spend a lot of time with them because the plot keeps getting reintroduced. We keep reintroducing the plot, and I don't understand why that's happening. I don't know if I explained that well, but I was like 70, maybe 60% way through the book. I'm just like, why are we reintroducing the plot that's been happening this entire book? But it does end really cute, and I do wish we spent more time with our main character and the final love interest of the book. I would have liked that. Like I said, I would have liked the friendship stuff to be even, maybe I just wanted the book to be a little bit longer, but I do think this probably could have been amazing for me if it was just, you know, some things would have been changed. What else do I feel about? I still stand on the fact that this book is bizarrely vulgar in places that maybe I just wasn't expecting. It's not like vulgar to the point of like, whoa, but like I wasn't expecting it. So that was a strange thing to witness. Other than that though, I'm always going to give it up for Black YA, and that is what this book is. I enjoyed it. I thought the characters were good. It was a good time. I'm going to give it a 3.5 light 4. You can find out on Goodreads what I find it, like what I actually rate it, but that's what I'm going to give it. I felt like I had more thoughts, but I guess maybe I don't have any more thoughts. Oh, the guy. I really appreciate James Ramos. He really loves some goddamn anime, specifically Dragon Ball Z. If you like Dragon Ball Z, this is the book for you. This got heavy into the Dragon Ball Z lore. This got heavy into all of that, like all the anime and stuff like that. So if you like that, this is the book for you. And that's another reason why this book couldn't like really blow me away. I don't know nothing about no anime. Therefore, what this book is really hitting on for, you know, the black nerds, this is for you. It's not for me, but it's for you. I do like this book, but I think you would really like this book if you watched Dragon Ball Z or watched all this anime or read all the manga. Our author knows a lot about that and puts a lot of that in the book, and I appreciate that. I love when author is knowledgeable about something cool and they put it in the book. I have no problem with that. I'm hit or miss on self-inserts. But I appreciate it when you like know stuff about a topic because I learned things about this and actually it made me want to go watch some Dragon Ball Z. So that's good for them. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next book. So yeah, next book. As You Walk On by Jillian Winters. Are all of our... No, 16 and Pregnant is not by a guy. I thought this was going to be about a guy. So we're going to read... we're going to read As You Walk On By. You guys, I was worried. The guy in this book is real light. And I was worried he was the guy on the back. And I was going to be... Only on the Weekends by Dean Otta. I thought it was going to be a rehash of that. Remember, I read Only on the Weekends by Dean Otta thinking it was like this black queer love story, and it was nothing of the sort. It was nothing of the sort. He ended up with a white boy in the middle of like Scotland or something, or wherever the hell he was at. I don't even know. No, I do not want to do that again. So I was worried. I was just like, is this boy going to end up with a white man? Like, absolutely not. You guys, let's talk. Since it is Black History Month, let's talk. I believe that people of color have a responsibility to write about people of color. I am so sorry. I am going to say I find it very weird when authors who are people of color, so not only just black, but people of color don't make their love interest people of color. Like, I think that's really weird. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm not saying black people have to be with black people, but I am saying like because in this book, I think the guy is Hispanic. So that makes sense to me. But like when you go out of your way to make a love interest white, as if we don't get so many books by white people writing about white people. White people ain't throwing us no bones. White people are not writing books where the love interest is black. So why the hell are people of color writing love interest with white men? I do not get it. White men and boys, I do not get it. I do not get it. It's something I cannot. I believe you have a responsibility as a black author to write about black people and write about other people of color. I really, that doesn't mean like white people can't be in your story. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a response. I'm sorry, and I stand alone on that. And I know that's an unpopular opinion. I say people are allowed to write the books that they want to write, and like sure, but also where do we have interesting conversations about the landscape that fiction is in, and who gets representation, and what type of representation do you want? I just don't think. I believe it. Now, if you have a whole collection of books and you've written so many black love stories or so many like love stories with black people and Asian people and Hispanic, like you have a plethora of things for us to choose from, sure, throw you in a little white black love, throw you in. But if that is literally all you are writing, especially in a young adult rant, because I say this to say the whole point of this rant is I had to look at the back of the book to make sure this person wasn't going to end up with a white person, because I find it so disheartening that a lot of LGBTQ plus books, the love interest is always white. They're always white. And it's really disheartening, especially because these books are geared towards young adults. These books are geared towards teenagers. And it's just like, there are LGBTQ plus black teens who want to see themselves in a book or read about themselves being able to find love with other black people. It's important. I'm so sorry not to get on my soapbox. It's important for people to read books and see themselves in those books and see the people around them falling in love with them, having to reach out. Like, I don't know. I'm not. In real life, I don't give a good goddamn who you with. But I just think when it comes to representation, it matters. It matters. I think it matters. But I read that there's a blurb on the back of this book, and it says, by Publishers Weekly, whoever wrote the review for Publishers Weekly agrees with me. They said, a big-hearted, friends to lovers romance, employing a winsome, queer, and racially diverse cast, compassionate prose, and a joyful tone. Winter skillfully... Wait, I read y'all the wrong goddamn quote. Hold up. Sorry. Booklist. Booklist wrote a review and it says, Winters has written a classic gay romance, which he enhanced by all too rare fact that both heroes pursuing a happy ending are people of color. Let me read it again because Booklist got it right. Winters has written a classic gay romance, which is enhanced by the all too rare fact that both heroes pursuing a happy ending are people of color. And thank you, Booklist, for taking the words out of my mouth. It is so rare to read just regular romance where like two people of color are going to end up together, but then when you break it down to LGBTQ plus queer media, it is so rare to see two people of color together. A white person is going to get thrown in the mix and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, does it have to be this way? And they get my point. It's not to be nasty. It's not to exclude people. And it's not to say like you have to want to not be with a white person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying representation matters. And I think you have a responsibility as people of color to show people of color. If you write love stories, you have a responsibility as a person of color to write people of color falling in love. That's just my hot take. That's my hot take. You ain't gotta agree, but also no, I don't care if you don't agree. Anyways, I will see you guys when I start As You Walk On By. I'm excited. So, yeah. Hello, you guys. I am here to give you guys my first update on As You Walk On by Julian Winters. Okay, in this book, you have a group of three boys. They call themselves TNT because they're like destructive. Basically, these three boys have been friends for quite a while. They go to this like prep school, this really like, you know, prestigious high school that everyone wants to go to. Two of the boys in this group have money, and that's why they're able to go. They're able to pay the tuition and do all of that. Their family has money. But our main boy, this black boy right here, he lives on the other side of the tracks. And basically the reason why he goes to the expensive school is because like he wrote an essay and they were like, okay, we're gonna let some poor people come to the school, given very much busing the kids in, given very much busing. And so that's how he's able to go to the school. But through that, he has become friends with these two rich boys. And you know, they are a group and they call themselves TNT. So every Friday they have like a dare. Like they've been doing these dares every single Friday. They give each other a dare and they have to complete it. No one has ever like not done a dare. Our main character, he is gay, and basically he's out to everyone. Everyone knows that he's gay, but he's still dealing with stuff within that because he's still in high school. He goes to a predominantly white high school, and you know, he's dealing with a lot. He's dealing, you know, just internally. No one's really picking on him, but he can tell that like people have thoughts about him being gay. But anyways, he gets a dare from his two friends, and their dare is that at this party that is being thrown over the weekend, he has to ask this other gay boy in their school, in their grade, to prom. And so our main character, he's like, I'm gonna do it, but he's nervous to do it because usually the dares are very like tongue-in-cheek, you know, like they're the dares and you do them and it's over. But he actually has a crush on the boy. The boy's name is Christian that he has to ask out. He actually has a crush on Christian, so he's actually like really nervous and would actually like to go to prom with this other gay boy. So he's really nervous. So that's what this is about. This is about him working his way up to ask this boy to prom, and there's this party. But we have a lot of things going on in this book. Our main character, he lives with his dad. His mom is not there. His grandmother used to be there taking care of him, but his grandmother passed away. And basically his dad wants him to be more than what he was. Basically the dad was this like hot shot athletic guy at the school. Everyone in the town knows him, and he never really became anything of that. He ended up moving back to the town. And so he never became anything. So he wants his son to make something of his life. So he wants his son to go off to do all of that. But our main character is kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. Is that something I want to do? Like, what's going on with my future? In the distant future, you will see why this is like, whoa. You'll see something in my life that comes out why this is kind of like, whoa. But be clear, when my thing comes out, no, I hadn't read this book before my thing comes out. Maybe I'll change my thing. But anyway, yeah. In the future, you'll know what I'm talking about. So that makes no sense right now. But anyway, he's like, I don't know if I want to do that. He also is really like weird with his friends. So one of his friends is white. Then he has his other friend that's black. And basically, the friend that is white is kind of bizarre. Number one, his daddy used to date the white boy mama back in the day. But the white boy, his daddy is a Duke alumni and alumna. And the main black guy's daddy wants him to go ask his white friend brother if his dad will put in a good word with him. But our main character doesn't really want to do that. He has this weird relationship with the white guy. He feels like there's something off about the white guy. Like maybe he doesn't like the fact that he's gay. There's some weird tension within the group. Even though he's known the white guy longer in the trio, he's become closer to the black guy in the group. And so there's a lot going on with that. But yeah, then you have this party. So like basically then they go to this party and he has to do the dare. Okay, that was a lot. That was all over the place, but let me tell you my thoughts. No. I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. This book isn't working for me. It's not working for me. Number one, I didn't realize, maybe something will change towards the end. This book all takes place at said party. At said party, this entire book takes place. I didn't know that. I thought we would have a party. There'd be difference. No, the entire book takes place so far at this party, and mostly in this little girl's bedroom. And basically what this book is teenagers talking. And like, I didn't sign up for that. I don't know why. I'm reading a young adult book, so it's like, girl, you kind of did sign up for that. But I didn't sign up for just people like, they're just talking. They're talking about their lives and the relationships everyone has with one another. And that brings my biggest gripe with this book. There's so many characters. There are so many characters in this book, and each character has their own obvious, like, identity, but, like, their identity matters. Like, you have to remember certain things about each character and how they all connect with each other, and I can't. Like, I just, some people come into the room, because they, like I said, this book takes place in this little girl's bedroom. Some people come into the room, and I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who you are. Or I remember you and don't remember your backstory, how you connect with them. There's so many characters in this book, and it's just people talking. There's really no action going on in the book. It's just people talking about their feelings and watching YouTube videos and TikToks, and it's just really boring. It's just really, really boring. Somewhere in here, I believe, is a good book. The idea of, like, one night your entire life can change. Like, I think that's what this book is, like, trying to hit on. Like, one night at a party, your whole life can change. You can get to know people you never knew before. You can fix a wounded relationship. That's what it's trying to give, but it's just not deep enough to hit that beat for me. So far, we're shaping up for like a 2-3 read. It's not terrible at all. There are certain things that I like. I really like the main character, but there's too much going on. There's too much going on and not enough at the same time. Like, we're just in this room and we're talking, and everyone has so many emotions and so many thoughts. You got like the love interest, he's here, and then you got somebody else, they're here, and then you got two girls, and then you got like his best friend, who not his best friend no more. Her name is Aaliyah, I think, or Michaela. Aaliyah. There's so many characters. Oh my god. And our main character, Daddy, used to date his best friend, the girl who used to be his best friend, Uncle. So his daddy is bisexual. But also remember, the daddy used to date his current best friend, Mama, back in the day. It's shenanigans, and not in the good way. So I'm gonna finish that off screen. But first, I'm going to bed. Like, I can't do it no more. I had to come up here and give you my thoughts. I'm going to bed. I'll finish it in the morning, and we'll wrap this video on up, okay? Anyways, I'll see you later. I have completed As You Walk On By. I'm going to give this book 3 out of 5 stars. I won't lie, the second half of the book makes up for, like, the really boring half of the first book, but it still all comes together for 3 out of 5 stars for me. It doesn't hit the beat. Like, it didn't do anything to amaze me. I didn't find the plot that interesting. I didn't find the characters that interesting. I didn't find their dynamics that interesting. The most interesting part of the book to me is the part with him and his original friends, like the white friend who was rich and the other black friend. I thought that dynamic was the most interesting, but that kind of comes in and out of the book. That's not really like fully a part of the book. We deal with it when we deal with it. It's not an integral part of the book. Therefore, I just found the other stuff to kind of be boring. You guys, this main character, you want to know the scenes in YA books that be taking me down? Because you are dealing with like kids, every main character has like a moment where they become like terrible. Like every YA book I read, the main character does something really terrible because they're kids. You know, they don't know what they don't know. So they always do something really, really terrible. Either they do something really terrible or they say something really terrible. And this one sent me down. Okay, so you guys, they finally leave the little fuck ass party that I told y'all was boring as hell and I didn't want to be there no more. They finally leave the party. Mind you, there's only like 70%. We already 75% through with the book, but that don't matter. They finally leave the little funky ass party. And so all the people are like in the car, and one of the friends exposes like a secret that they're the reason why someone died, because there was a boy who died at their school, and one of them reveals that like I'm the reason why they died, and it's a whole little thing. It's emotional. It's all this stuff. So they decide they're going to visit the graveyard that the boy is at, and you know, release all that anger, that tension. So they all start getting into arguments about shit, and you want to know what the main character said? So they wanted to go over to the graveyard. He wasn't ready to go over to the graveyard yet. Whatever. He said, what was that boy's name? Devin? I think Devin is the name of the dead boy. He was like, it's not like Devin going anywhere. And bitch, why would he say that? Like, there was a whole emotional scene about this little boy being dead, and all of a sudden our main character is like not ready to go to the graveyard. So it's like, he's like, it's not like he's going anywhere. I said that sent me down the river. The main character daddy is a loser. I am so sorry. The main character daddy is such a loser. The main character daddy is a coon, and he like, you know, tap dance for the white people in the town because he wants them to see him as like successful, and you know, I'm the good blackie, black. And like in the end, he did kind of redeem himself. He'll do anything for his son, but it's still, once you got the coon stink on you, it's hard to get that off you. So he never gave for me. What else? The relationship, this was like a romance. The relationship never ate for me. I never really saw it for the relationship. You see it from the very beginning who he's going to be with. I never saw it for the relationship, so that didn't really work for me. And the biggest thing, whoa, this book takes forever to end. This book does not know when to leave well enough alone. I already decided to give this book 3 out of 5 stars. Baby, there was 5 more chapters. There was 5 more chapters after I thought we was good and done. 3 out of 5 stars. Baby, there was 5 more chapters to go. I said, let it go. The good thing about this book, my favorite thing about this book, because you know I want to lead with love, there are chapter names. We gotta bring back chapter names, having names to the chapters, because there's so many fucking characters, I would forget how all the characters are related, but I would remember the chapter that the person was introduced in, and I would just go right back to the chapter name. I didn't have to guess. I could just go back to the chapter names. We gotta bring back chapter names. Chapter names are it. If we can bring back table of contents, that'll really set it off. But yeah, 3 out of 5 stars, not a win. So I am gonna wrap up this video, but since it's a vlog, you guys, my Fairyloot box came. Fairyloot boxes take forever to get to the United States. Oh my goodness. So I'm giving Fairyloot another chance this year. Why? I don't know. I'm giving Fairyloot another chance this year. I got one Fairyloot box. It was the adult Fairyloot box, and ooh, it was raggedy. Ooh, it's raggedy. I do the book only because I don't need that junk in my house. Like, be fucking for real. I got enough junk. So yeah. We got the little popcorn thingy. Spare me. Yeah, let's see what this year I did the young adult box. The young adult only box. So this is the little card. It is the Hidden Worlds box. Little card, cute, whatever. I'm gonna throw that away. Like, who are you fucking kidding? So this is how it comes. Very, you know, very secure. Very secure. And let's see how the book looks. It's all about how the book looks. I don't really care about that, reading the actual book. These are the only fantasy books I'm gonna read all year. I'm gonna read all the Fairyloot. Oh my god. Fuck that. This is what you spend your fucking money for. Poster? Can we compare Poster Girl bullshit by Veronica Roth? That's all I got. Look at fucking, the young adult girls are eating. Look at the sprayed edges. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. It came with this like little picture. I don't know. So yeah, my idea is that I do want to continue reading some fantasy this year. So if I can read like only the fantasy books I get from Fairyloot, that'll be like, what? I won't get every box from Fairyloot. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like the fantasy books I read this year, I'm going to read them this year, is the Fairyloot young adult stuff. So, you know, it keeps me, it's kind of like how I'm doing book of the month this year again. Like it keeps me, you know, knowing what's hip, keeping my ear to the streets. Because yes, I am very like, I like this type of book and this type of book only, but I do want to expand my horizon. So getting like book of the month and picking out books that like I don't know anything about and doing the young adult fantasy Fairyloot box, it allows for me to read books I wouldn't really read and be okay with it. So I don't feel so much pressure to like listen to like what other people are saying and be like, I should buy that book even though I know it's not my taste. I'm gonna get whatever Fairyloot sends me. That's what I'm gonna read. Well, Fairyloot did not send me this box. Whatever I purchased from Fairyloot, and that's what I'm gonna read. And this looks really fun. It says, whoever controls the spice controls the kingdom itself. So this is Spice World. Why have I feel like I've heard this about this book? Or am I thinking about Poppy Wars? Am I thinking about the Poppy Wars? I don't know. This is how it looks on the inside. If you haven't gotten your Fairyloot box and you want to be surprised, oops. Get fucking serious. Like, this is worth literally the $26, I think, that I pay for it. Look how fucking pretty it is. You want to see how Veronica Roth looked on the inside? What? This is how the Veronica Roth book looked. This is how this book looked. What the... I said I was gonna give this to somebody for Christmas if they wanted it. Nobody I knew wanted a fucking Veronica Roth book, so this is gorgeous. I kind of want to put it on my bookshelf without the spine. I mean, without the dust jackets, but I'm kind of anti doing that. I don't like that. You know how some people put all their books without dust jackets? You gotta be really, really pretty for me to do that. I enjoy dust jackets. I do. I do, even the ugly ones. I'm a dust jacket girl, so I'm gonna keep the dust jacket on. But yo, this was a good surprise. This is fun. Guys, we are here to discuss my final thoughts on the 3 books that we read in this vlog. The first book that we read was 16 and Pregnant by Layla Thomas. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this book had so much heart. I thought this book was really well done. I will say this book will not be for everyone. A lot of people will say it's stereotypical or they don't like to see Black girls perceived in this way, but I thought this book was real. I believe there is a group of Black people and Black girls that get written out of media because people believe they're not respectable or people don't want to see Black people in this way. But what that is doing is really alienating a group of Black people who do experience certain things, who do talk a certain way and act a certain way. And those people are no less deserving of representation. And I thought this book did that really well. I thought it tackled adult pregnancy and topics like abortion and topics like motherhood really well. I thought this just was a really well written book and I surprisingly enjoyed it. I came in there thinking this was just going to be like fluff, like not that deep. And I really, really enjoyed it. And there are not many books like this on the market, and I thought it was really good. The next book that we read for this was The Wrong Kind of Weird. I gave this book 3.5 stars, and I stand on that. This book was interesting. It just didn't fully hit the mark for me. I think in the month of February, I've been feeling like the books I've been reading don't pack the punch that I need them to, and this book just really didn't have the punch, but I enjoyed the love triangle. I enjoyed the stuff about high school. It was a fun little high school book, and if that's what you're looking for, this is that. It's carefree. I love the anime and the manga stuff inside here. I just love when an author geeks out about the stuff that they like, and that's what this book had, and so I enjoyed it. The last book that we read for this was As You Walk On by Jillian Winters. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. Just wasn't for me. I think it's a perfectly fine book. It just wasn't for me. The beginning is really boring. I felt like this book, they had a lot of there was a lot of characters in this book, and once again, didn't really pack a punch. It didn't have the depth that I needed it to have, and I found it to just be really like, okay, just okay, just an okay time, you know? Like, I haven't thought about these characters since I stopped reading them. I haven't wanted to be back in this world since I've been in this world. I just don't have many thoughts on this book. So, 3 out of 5. But that is the end of the video, and those are the books that I read. To start off Black History Month, I'm really happy that I read these books, and I had a fun time reading these books. These books were so easy to read. I think these books could find a home with everyone. There's none of these books do I think are just like abysmal and you shouldn't read. These books have a home with someone, and I think if you found any of the synopsis interesting, you should check them out. But I think the winner in this is 16 and Pregnant. I thought this book was really good and I enjoyed it. So shout out to Layla Thompson. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one.